digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Tequila, would you mind just taking over for 2 minutes? I will be back. I'm sorry. Can you just start the show? I will be back in 2
okay.
seconds. Sorry.
Okay. Wasn't expecting that. Big up to Dermo, who's doing what he's got to do. Big up to me, who's doing what I've got to do. You've got a big black screen and then my character. Hope everyone is well. Who have we got in the chat tonight? Let's have a look. Look, see. No one. It's quiet as a mouse. Well, okay, so what can we talk about? Well, it's obvious, isn't it? You've seen the title of the video. Is Thomas Frank the man to lead us to glory? Now, I've noticed something with whenever we get a new manager, we always seem to expect them to almost perform miracles. Like, what is glory for everyone? You know, glory for me probably looks at something different from Dermo's point of view, and glory is probably something else from other people's point of view. For me, when I think about glory, I don't necessarily say it's about winning trophies, and this is where I know I differ from a lot of people. For me, it's to play football a certain way, and for me to have respect of my team. And that was one of the big problems I had with Postecoglou, more than anything else. I didn't respect us. I couldn't respect how we went about things. I couldn't respect the naivety. I didn't respect the team. I didn't respect our league performances. I didn't respect our league position. So even though we ended up winning the Europa League, I still felt, I wouldn't say embarrassed, although that word could be used, embarrassed. I felt ashamed. Certainly I felt ashamed seeing us get a hiding every week. So for me, glory looks like how we respect and glory go very hand in hand for me. And I want to bring respect back to, that's what I want more than anything, is to have some respect back. Can Thomas Frank deliver that? I don't know. It's a tough one.
It is a tough one. Look, I don't think it's all on Thomas Frank on Saturday. I think the players have to take responsibility as well. I think the whole club have to. I think we were looking at it Saturday, Tequila, of a legacy of Daniel Levy's penny pinching and recruitment for the last 5 years under 2 different managers, and it's coming back to bite us on the arse, and it truly is. I wrote a little note down. I was putting together shows up for the week, and I sat there. It must have been about 1 this morning, and I wrote it down in my notepad. Tottenham under Frank, and it sort of went under Ange. We were open. Under Ange, we were too open. Yes, we won the Europa League. When Frank came in, right, I thought we have a manager who can change things and make us play again, make us tough to play against. But that's not come to pass. We are boring, we're easy to play, and teams have worked us out. Now, yes, he's only in the job since June, and it's already become a bigger job but is it already become a bigger job that Frank can do? We have to give him time, but still the fans or the Lewis family, sorry, I'm reading this wrong, sorry, because I'm a dyslexia, sorry. We have to give him time, but will the fans or the Lewis family give him that time? I guess time will only tell. I've been a fan since the 80s, seen a lot of good and bad, but I've never seen a side get a 0.5 or a 0.10 XG. In any game we got sick of Jose Conte very fast. We got sick of Ange Ball. Only Poch has lasted longer since Harry was at the club. So the big question is, what happens now? What happens if we lose to Manchester United, Arsenal in the Champions League? Look, I've said I've seen worse, but I'm also not going to say Frank out too. The club have to back him in January and in the summer. If he gets that long, the Lewis family, I guess, it's over to you now. Prove us wrong. Put your money where your mouth is. And that's sort of where I'm going at it, Tequila. It's over to the Lewis family. Put your money where your mouth is.
As you were saying that, Dermo, no, please tell me that's not true.
Please tell me, has Thomas Frank been sacked?
No.
Last word on Spurs.
I think Kudus is injured now.
Yeah.
So you've heard this then? I haven't. I just saw it.
I can give you the. Where is it?
No one left in.
Where is it? Is this it? Was this it? No, that's not.
I mean, so it's true then, Dermo. That's true then. It's not a.
He came out the press conference today. Where is it? I did have it down to that. Oh, here we go. This is the team news from today. This was from the press conference. Lucas Bergfield's been ruled out through concussion suffered in defeat to Chelsea. He's out now to after the international break. Kudus and Jed Spence both picked up knocks, but could be available for Copenhagen though. So the question I'm asking, right, just on this quickly, do you play Kudus and Jed Spence tomorrow night, or do you keep him for Man United? Which I think is arguably more important than tomorrow night.
Without Kudus, I mean, I already have little faith that we can score anyway, just because of our players. But you take Kudus out, who is our best attacker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 0-0 then?
Yeah.
Both games? I mean, you tell me how we're going to score, Dermo. A set piece. Other than a set piece, in open play, how are we going to score if he's not there?
We're not. And then that begs the question, is that down then to, is this Levy's, we talked about Levy's legacy, didn't we, a little while ago? Does this come down to, are we seeing Levy's legacy? And we asked that question about a month ago. And I think we got 3 different answers between you, myself, and James. But I think I'm more aligned in coming in your way of thinking. But I think we're now looking at Levy's legacy of penny pinching and not paying the right money for the players.
It's a form of neglect.
Yeah.
It's a form of neglect. Neglect is a funky word. It's a form of neglect.
Yeah.
Do I think Levy done it on purpose? No, that makes no sense to think he done it on purpose. But obviously, him or whoever he's employed to make these footballing decisions for him has done an absolutely dreadful job when it comes to recruitment. You sell Harry Kane, you bring in Brendan Johnson. You spend half the Kane money on Brendan Johnson. I'm not saying Brendan Johnson was a light flight replacement. Of course not. Completely different kind of player. But I'm just saying that's where half of that money went. You can, and think of it this way, Dermo, right? Think of it this way. We sold Harry Kane and used the money to buy Tell and Johnson. Heung-min Son leaves for quite a small fee in the end, about 15 million, I think. We just flat out don't bother to replace that one. We just don't bother.
I think I agree with you. I think he went at the right time, by the way.
He did.
He
did. I'm not saying he shouldn't have gone, but our two best players of the last 15 years, we didn't bother replacing either. That's what I mean by neglect. What is it that people expect? We've got the worst front line since I think the early 2000s. Pre-Berbatov, pre-Keane, pre-Defoe. I'm talking Everson, I'm talking Armstrong, I'm talking Redbrough, I'm talking Bobby Zamora. This is the levels that we're at, unfortunately, when it comes to our forward play. We've got a decent defensive midfielder in Paulinho. I think Bentancur and Sarr are quite average players. I'm not saying they're terrible. I think they're quite average. I think they're average Premiership players. They're not particularly creative. We have nothing coming from deeper when it comes to any creativity. Maddison's injured. Nothing you can do about that. I think Simmons, I'm going to say this, Dermo, right? Hear me out on this just quickly. Xavi Simmons is in danger of becoming one of these two players. He'll go one way or the other. And you'll know exactly what I mean when I tell you the two players I've got in my mind. Luka Modric.
Yeah.
Brian Gill.
Yeah. I agree.
Three people with all similar frames who all came from foreign countries and are all very lightweight. One of those two players I mentioned to you, Dermo, adapted. One didn't. The one who adapted ended up playing for Real Madrid, and I think he's still playing now, and he can become an absolute legend, one of the best footballers in the world. One of my favourite ever Spurs players, Luka Modric. The other one's Brian Gill, with all due respect. Simmons, I don't know which way it's going to go, but he needs to adjust, or he's going to be Brian Gill.
Do you know what? I agree with you on that. I made a point earlier, Tequila, that look, we know we know on here with Ange that you didn't like him. I was sort of Ange in near enough to the end, and then I became Ange out at the end. I think 22 league defeats in the league, I think sort of wears you down and batters it into your head we need a change. But I was looking at that Chelsea game in his first year in charge, and we lost 4-2, right? With 9 men, we showed more grit, more determination, and more fight with 9 men did we show with 11 on Saturday. We could have drawn that game, by the way. Eric Dyer had a goal disallowed and Sonny hit the post. The only caught out with two rarely goals that we were pushing forward in the courts on the break, and that's how the score. You know, Nicholas Jackson, Tequila's favourite all-time Premier League striker.
Dermo, is he? Right, be honest with me. Take off the Chelsea hate. Would you take Nicholas Jackson over our forward line?
Fuck no.
Honestly, do you think he's worse? Do you think he's worse than Richarlison?
You
do.
He's fucking brutal. Yeah.
You think Jackson's? That's it. I want to know in the chat. Nicholas Jackson, is he worse than Richarlison? I want to know.
Give me back the Ginger Pele. Bring him back. Yeah, Fraser Campbell as well. But you see the point I'm trying to make, Tequila. Yeah, I'm trying to make a serious point. There was more fight with them 9 men than there was with them 11 players on the pitch on Saturday. Look, we complain. The players do take responsibility. The fans booing. I think they had a right to boo Tequila. I think they had a right to boo at the end. You expect the minimum. The minimum you expect is determination, fight, and heart. You put on that shirt. That you don't own that shirt. That shirt is loaned to you by us, the fans. And I just feel it was they embarrassed us all on Saturday. But on Thomas Frank, this is about Thomas Frank, so we're going to get back to him. What does he do? You saw his press conference. He had it. What happened at the end, Tequila? Right now, he said the boys have come in and apologized. They did it unprompted as well, and you got Vicario giving out about the fans as well.
I was gonna ask you about that. I was gonna say, what's your feelings on the whole Vicario stuff? Because I
don't like that.
I disagree with what he said. I disagree with.
I do. Thomas Frank, what does he have to do you think, to steady the waters? Because look, we should be beating Copenhagen tomorrow night. That's a given, right?
Not if you can't score, we won't.
Not if you can't score, it's right. But we've got Man United and then we've got Arsenal. 2 games next in the Premier League. 1 at home, 1 away. If we get into them games, Tequila, where we play really badly tomorrow night, we play really badly against Man United. This is hypothetical. So this is situation A. And we play really badly against Arsenal. How do you think the fan base is going to turn?
Well, Man United won. It's weird. Football moves very fast. A month ago, Dermo, we would have thought that we would be United. Oh, Amarin done it. Doesn't know what he's doing. Amarin. Yeah. Oh, they're in the shambles. Oh, then they get their shit together a little bit.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, we might not beat them now. They're actually not that bad. They're actually got their act together a little bit now, and we're the ones in shambles. A month ago, probably we didn't feel that way. I think we thought that a month ago we were still generally, well, I won't say we were performing great, but we hadn't had some of the performances that we'd had lately. And United were down. Yeah. It looked like United were going to have another poor season. I personally do expect us to lose both those games. I think United are a better team than us anyway. I don't think they're amazing, but I think they're better than us. I don't think you should ever expect to beat Arsenal. I know that wanting to and expecting to are 2 different things, Dermo. Yeah, I want to, but I don't expect to. And I don't think Thomas Frank should be judged on the result, but it's going to be the performance. If we go there, right, and if we lose to Arsenal by 2 or 3 goals, but we put a shift in, I'll be okay with it.
Yeah, I think I will be.
If we have no shots on target again, and we play like we did against Chelsea, and lose, then they're going to come down on him like a hammer. And will he survive?
24 minutes, 64 million. And I've been saying it for a while as well, Tequila. Is he a Levy choice? Was he a Levy pick? Yeah, we know Vinay was in charge of it, but what rarely did Vinay have a say in it? Do you know what I mean? And I just wonder. I really do wonder. It's a tough time, isn't it? It's a tough time to be a Spurs fan because I do feel I place in the league it's a false position, Tequila.
I agree.
As bad, the league's been weird this year, actually. That's why I think to be up high as we are, and you look at the performance on Saturday, and you look at the performances this season. How many games did we really play well this season? On
like 2 or 3, I think max, probably.
PSG is 1.
Yeah.
Man United, Man City away is another.
I think we were okay against Everton, to be fair.
Yeah, I think so. The scoreline says that. A lot of people say we weren't, but I think the scoreline says
we weren't amazing, but we were all right.
We were clinical.
We weren't bad.
Yeah. I mean, these are the stats, right, Tequila, from Saturday, right? I mean, what does that do? You look at, right, forget the away form, right? Forget Chelsea. Just look at our stats. What does that bring to you?
It just says to me that whilst we had okay position, it was nearly 50-50, 48%. I mean, You know, so we had half the ball, which is okay.
Yeah.
You could argue that maybe at home you may expect to have in the mid-50s. Probably you might expect that to be a little bit higher, but I don't think you can go crazy on that stat. It's the shots. It's the shots overall. I'm not even looking about the on target, right? It's the shots. It's the shots. So we didn't even bother. And as you can see that, I know you hate XG, but if you look at that number, I think I can't remember which channel I was on, but somebody who knows more about it than me said that 0.05, I think is something like that equals something like 1 goal in 20 games. Think about that.
I mean, it was sort of rounded up. I've seen it on other channels. It was 0.10. So it's between 5 and 0.5, 0.05 to 0.10.
So think of it, if you had that XG for the whole season, Dermo, you'd score 2 goals.
So can we really blame Thomas Frank then?
Yes, but it's a combination blame. It is. Yes, you can blame him because he's the one who picks who tells them what to do. Now, the players that we've got, I don't think are capable of making that many chances. But we're not talking about not making that many chances. We're talking about the lowest XG, I think, since like 2013. And that's everybody. That's in the Premier League. That's not Spurs stat. That's a Premier League stat. So you think about how many dog crap teams there's been, right? So in like Derby, right, who were like maybe the worst team ever that year, right? They got like 10 points or whatever. So they had, even Derby that year had a better XG than we did in this game.
I know.
No Spurs manager can ever be. And I know that he wasn't. I know he came out and said that he himself was almost embarrassed, and he should be embarrassed, but so should the players. That's why Van der Ven and Spence and Vicario can all take little digs at the fans. They need to look themselves in the mirror, every one of them.
Yeah, they do.
Even though Dermo, you can say, well, why Vicario? What? You can't Vicario. You can't blame him for not scoring goals. Yes, of course, I understand he's the keeper. You win as a team, you lose as a team. Don't pass the buck. Don't pass the buck.
Do you know what? Did you see him at the end when he was going around clapping the fans and he kept going like this, I'm watching you. He was going it back to one of the fans like. It's going to grow toxic very quickly at Tottenham.
So I think we're already there. I think it's already toxic too.
So, look, we both think, right, I don't know where you are, but me, if you give him the money, if you give him the players, I think Thomas Frank can do a good job. I still got faith that he can turn it around and do a good job. But we didn't give... Everyone was clamouring from Ange to be out before the end of last season, from November onwards. Under an Ange team, we may have lost, but the players did give their all in most games, Tequila, to be fair. We were shit, but they gave effort.
I'm going to challenge you on that one, Dermo. I can't remember the exact game, but I remember talking to you last year. It was in the second half of last year's season. I can't remember the exact game. I think it was a home game, and I remember that we lost, like we lost most games. And I remember you being utterly deflated, like one of the worst times I've seen you be deflated. Probably even worse than you were over the weekend against Chelsea, because I think it was against a much weaker team than us, right? So it was a much more embarrassing thing. And I remember you being absolutely distraught because they didn't put any shift in. And I remember you telling me, they're not playing for Edge and stuff like that. So I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying that I'm going to disagree with you a little bit on saying that they play for Edge, because they might have done sometimes, but but lots of times they gave just as little effort.
Not all the time. Not all the time.
Maybe not all the time, but a lot of the time they did.
Yeah.
It's the players as well, dude. It's the players. It's not just the manager. It is. They should look themselves in the mirror, and if they're not giving it all, then they should. This is why I hate them going at the fans, dude. It's just like, I wrote it in one of our WhatsApp chats. It's like, before they start criticizing them, if they want to go and pay for the tickets for the fans, well, I'm being silly, but I mean, if they want to do that, the part they don't seem to understand is that it's the fans, it's us mugs who pay to see them. They get paid to do it, but we pay to see them. So if the fans want to boo their asses and they deserve it, then you take it.
Yeah, you do. You do. We paid overinflated prices for turkeys that nobody wanted. Can't blame Frank for this. He didn't buy this much. Well, he's got to coach them. He's got to put them in out there. He's got to give them tactics. But look, I think Thomas Frank will get a said tequila. But I think this is where the question boils down to it. Was he a Levy pick or was he a Lewis pick? When do you think we will know that? When do you think we will get inklings? I mean, it was given today, right? I got this drop from my source about the players. I was asking about the players, and they said there is disconnect within the changing room. Frank is not happy with recent performances. Players are not settled with his tactics, and player-to-player relationships are low. A big divide at the moment is the relationship between Mickey van der Ven and Richarlison, and Van der Ven asking more from the forward line. Are we... 2-point question, really, Tequila. First one, when will we know from Lewis family that if it was their pick or not? And secondly, will this be the downfall of Thomas Frank? Because if he can't get a grip of that dressing room, how quickly would that sort of unravel to that the changing room is not behind him? Do you know what I mean?
To answer the first part of your question, when will we find out if he was their man or not? I think once the fans, and we're not there yet. I think we are going to get there in a couple more games, especially after the Arsenal. You're right when you said I don't think fans will take that one, especially if it's a drab performance. If you try hard and we lose by a goal or something, that'll be different.
Yeah.
But if it's the same thing as we've just seen against Chelsea, then I don't know if he escapes that. If he does escape it, you'll have your answer, because if it goes like this against Arsenal, and the fans start throwing their vitriol towards the board members and the new owners, the new people in charge, will they throw him under the bus? Because if it's not their man, it's an easy sacrifice for them to make, because then they can turn around and they can use the narrative. Well, that was Daniel Levy's appointment, not us. We would have chosen somebody else, but we wanted to do the right thing. So I mean, they'll spin the narrative to make themselves like, oh, it wasn't us, it was Levy. That was the old brigade who did that. No, we had nothing to do with that. Don't worry, we'll fix it. And then they'll get, don't ask me who, by the way, because who's available right now? Don't ask me who it would be. I'm not sure there's an outstanding candidate who's free anyway. They're all in other jobs. And if they turn around and they don't back him, then you'll have your answer. But we won't know that until I think the fans start going for them. And we found out under Nuno, and me and you already made the Nuno comparison, that once the fans start going for the owners or the board members, that is how they will react very, very quickly, just like Levy did when he got Conte in. Because you got to remember that Conte rejected us before we went.
In the summer, he did in the summer.
And the room.
Sorry, go on. No,
I was about to say, the rumors were that Conte, at the time I remember, the rumors were that the reason they rejected Conte was not because of money, but because Conte said to them, "I don't want to work with a bunch of young players." And the Conte stance slightly changed.
When they put extra money in front of him.
When they put extra money. Yeah, and then they got him in, and then mostly he had to work with mainly younger players, other than Perisic, I think, who was not young. He was the exception to the rule when we got Perisic in for that year. So it reminds me of the same thing, and I do think I said this to you privately, Dermo, and I don't mind saying it on air. I think this is going to end up the same way as Nuno. I don't know when. I can't tell you that, but I think it ends up the same way. There's loads of parallels in my mind.
Yeah, there is. And look, somebody said it, I was on Dave's fan show. Somebody said he can see it being ended by Christmas. And I do you know what? I don't want it to be. I really don't. I think Thomas Frank is still the right choice. I think you give him the right players and the right time to do that. You look at Manchester United. Look how long they give Amorim. How many times did we hear Colin or Kevin or Mr. B get really frustrated with Amorim and wanting him out, and he has to go, but he's still there.
Man United actually, even though Man United are actually quite patient, it must be said.
Mm.
Like you get like Ten Hag, Dermo. I mean, Ten Hag before he won the League Cup, they already wanted him out. He won the League Cup, so he kind of bought himself an extra season.
Yeah.
They wanted him out again. Then he wins the FA Cup the next season, so that bought him another half a season. But they were quite patient. But the thing is, but because he kept on winning, obviously the league form was terrible. But because he kept on winning them trophies, they delayed it. Frank isn't going to have that. I'm sorry, Dermo. We're not going to win a cup this season. We're already out of one of them. We ain't winning the
Yeah.
Champions League. FA Cup,
no, that.
of course, it's not impossible, but it requires an immense amount of luck. And how we're playing at the minute, if we get a draw against Liverpool or Chelsea or Arsenal, we ain't getting past them.
No, we're not. I mean, look at our home form, Tequila, right? This is our home form. The last 19 home games. Some of these are under Ange Postecoglou as well, by the way. So you're looking at.
Look at that.
3 wins out of our last 19.
That's a lot of red there, man. I don't like Arsenal. That's a lot of red.
It is a lot of red. So you're looking at 3 wins, 4 draws, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 defeats in our last 19 games at home. And if you look at that last one there, Tequila, right? You're looking at 2 wins, 1 draw, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've lost 6 out of our last.
That's that's relegation.
It is. It is. If it wasn't for our away form, Tequila, we'd be down the bottom. We'd be down the bottom.
We've got
wasn't for our away
people in the chat. We have relegation home form.
Yeah. And how do we sort that out? Now, look, is it the fans' fault because of look? I think it's worth talking about as well, Tequila. I think our voices at home, or the atmosphere within the stadium isn't great at the moment. Who do you put that down to? I mean, I'm very much of the opinion of if you're playing good football on the. I'm going to keep that graphic up for a while, by the way, guys, so you can have a good. Let that sink in. 3 wins out of our last 19. That's it is relegation fodder. But if the team are playing well and they're putting in a shift and they're trying and they're pumping forward, of course the fans are going to get behind them. What was your reaction to the booing on Saturday, especially at the end when Jed Spence and Vicario were passing the ball to one another? I could get it. And I'm being honest, hand on heart, Peter, I will probably be booing myself. Because the one thing you want them to do with coming into time added on, you want them to boot the ball in the net, into the box. Anything can happen. Anything. Chelsea could have made a mistake. We could have got a last-minute equaliser. Wouldn't have deserved one, but a point's better than nothing. Why is it? Why is the home form become so bad? And it's not a hangover with Ange. I don't think that.
What do you? Okay, Dermo. What do you expect? What do you expect in that situation you've just described to me? The end of the game, and you got your fullback passing it back and forth to your keeper.
Oh,
What would you expect? Would there be one person in that crowd cheering that?
No,
you wouldn't. Not one. Right.
No.
So, what is it? What is it that the players such as Vicario with that statement? Obviously, he doesn't quite understand. Bless him. Not really shitting on him. I don't think he's. I don't think he's a massive problem.
You're right.
But I think it was a silly comment. I think it was a silly comment to make. So
it was a stupid comment to make, and I agree with you. It was.
What is it that? I'd love to know. I'd love to talk to him privately and ask him what he expected those fans to do when we're losing to one of our biggest rivals.
Yeah.
And we've been crap all game. We've been crap, and you and Spence are ticky-tacking it with each other, and not progressing the ball. What is it that you expect the fans to do? Still cheer you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how many times have we seen it, right? Where you've told the defender, get the hell up there. I'm going to boot it in. Right? How many times have we seen that? I don't know what was going through Jed Spence's head. Oh, I'll tell you what. I'm going to pass it to you, Vicario. You pass it to me. Then I pass it back to you. And then I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll pump it into the box, but all the players have now moved out and Sanchez can come out and make a nice, calm catch. You pump it in there. You make it uncomfortable. Somebody's going to make a mistake. Even the ball might run loose. The keeper may misjudge it. There may be a penalty. Do you know what I mean? Or a free kick on the edge of the box, or something like that. I think the player. I mean, look, you, me combined, Tequila, right? I've watched a lot of Tottenham. This gentleman, who we both know, has watched a lot more Tottenham than us. I wonder what him and the likes of Philip and Wilton McDonald and Colin from Wales, I wonder what they're thinking when they see performances like this.
I would like to know if Philip or Colin would have been in that, watching that live in the stadium, if they themselves would be cheering if we were doing that at the end of a crap against one of our most hated rivals. Would Vicario expect them to be cheering as well?
Well, can I just say, I went to the Palace game with Philip last year, as you well know. I hope you don't mind me telling this, Philip. And we lost after the game, right? For 90 minutes, I've never heard so much shouting from behind me. Me and David doing that, right? He was twice as bad as me. And then I said to Philip, right, we're walking out. And he's giving out. I had to calm him down, and Philip, please don't have a go at me for telling this. This is so funny. He's giving out, fucking damn, they're effing useless. Do you know, I know exactly what Mr. Brady would be saying in that stand. I hope Mrs. Brady isn't watching. Hope you're enjoying your holiday as well, Philip. Philip is away at the moment, having a lovely time. He's going near the Bermuda Triangle soon, Tequila.
Apparently, depending on what stories you want to believe, apparently there's either aliens there that are going to beam you up, Phil, or there's some weird magnetics thing happens, so makes all ships crash. So good luck, mate.
Do you think he should do a live stream for once he enters it?
Yeah, then when the aliens beam you up, or whatever it is they do, then you can do a show from there. That would be interesting.
you could ask them, are they Tottenham fans?
They'll probably mate. They'll probably end up being Arsenal fans. Let's be honest.
I want to say big up to Jerome as well. The sentence in the super chat as well.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Do you want to say anything, Jerome?
Big up, mate. Big up, mate. We appreciate all the support we get, bro. We do appreciate any super chats. If you've got a question, bro, or something, I know you got a comment, but if you want to ask us a question via the super chat, let us know. I'm sure me and Dermo don't mind answering it.
No, we don't. Always welcome. Thank you so much. He says booing is not okay, but after this nonsense performance, what do they expect? This is beyond disgraceful. I agree. Totally agree.
I don't know 100%. I don't know what they expected. It's like I don't know. It's like it feels like, and I hope this is not the case because I quite like Vicario, but I got to question him.
Yeah,
it feels like he's passing the buck a little bit.
Yeah, he is. I think
it's like no, mate, and he may feel that he can do that because he's playing okay at the minute, and yes, it's not his fault we're not scoring. So maybe he feels he's the only one who can do that, and I think Van de Ven might feel that way a little bit as well. I'm a defender, mate, so I'm not meant to be scoring the goals, even though of course he got a couple the other game. Maybe that's what they feel, Dermo, because technically they're part of the defense. It's not their job to be scoring, so they feel like it's fine that they can just pass the buck and just say, we're all doing our jobs. It's the strikers. Did Van de Ven not make the area was part of the problem that let in the goal? Did he not make a mistake? Am I wrong in that? It's in his wasn't it?
I agree. Look, for me, Vicario, I love Vicario. I watched him at the Palace game and he never shut. No, it was King's game guy. I went to one game, Brighton, and he never shut up for 1 minute, Tequila. He doesn't stop from minute 1 to minute 90. You want to hear the language out of him. He knows every swear word under the book.
We are Spurs TV is saying VDV to be an attacker. Well, that's fine. I'm not saying that the man has no idea about football. I never said that, but he's not playing as an attacker right now, is he? He's a defender, so it's like
he is. I agree. Big up to Jerome as well. Look, Jerome, we've got to get you on some show as well. If you pick up your memberships, it's a good chance of me saying it. Pick up your memberships, 99 cents or P, and you get to come on. Big up. Philip said he'd be fuming. Kayla, to your question, what would Philip be like? He said, I'd be fuming.
I think most people would be, dude. Yeah, well, no, that's why I wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah,
I just don't like this blaming the fan stuff, dude. I don't
either. I'm with you. He says it's full of alien Arsenal fans. So that's apparently Arsenal fans are aliens.
Say hello to
What?
Levy when you get there. I heard he's gone back to his home planet now. So that's
Yeah. Is that why we're having that 3-1 Atlas going around the sun? Do you reckon that's Levy's ship to pick him up?
they knew he was getting fired, so they're like, okay, Danny, we'll come pick you up, mate.
Yeah. Okay. So 3-1 I Atlas is Daniel Levy's mothership.
Yep, going back to his
There you
home
go.
planet, Marklar.
So anyone that's been watching about 3-1 Atlas thinking we're going to be under alien invasion, don't panic. Tequila has the breaking news. It is Daniel Levy's mothership.
They heard there was intelligence in the solar system, then they went to Earth and didn't see any, so they moved on.
Philip says that Palace game was nearly as bad as the AC Milan game, which was nearly as bad as the. Do you know what, Philip? You and me have gone to some really bad games. Me and Philip were at all three of them, by the way, Tequila. The Wolves game was the first game I ever went to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, right? I don't know how many times I've been. I've been Wolves, AC Milan, Palace, and Brighton. Do you know I've had one win in 4 games going to the
I was about to say, you sure can pick him, can't you, Domo?
Yeah, I surely can. I've got Brighton, I've got Brentford coming up next.
Good luck with that.
Wolves was bad. AC Milan was a ball fest, and Palace, I should have stayed in the pub and got pissed. That says a lot about that.
Big up to Jerome.
Jerome is becoming
he's
a
got
YouTube
membership as well. Cheers, bro.
Yeah.
Again.
Well, you get to come on now, Jerome. You do get to come on.
Yeah. By all means.
Yeah. We've got We Are Spurs TV. He's saying as well. We've got. Be fair to him. He's always putting some good comments in. He says one shot on goal and 3 altogether in 102 minutes. It's.
Let me ask you this: We Are Spurs TV and Dermo as well. How can us fans, right, let the team know that we're not happy with them? Any other way? What is it that you want the fans to do? And what is it? What other power do we have as fans to tell the players that this is not acceptable? And if the argument is, well, they should know it's not acceptable, they obviously don't.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, I wasn't laughing at you, Tequila. I was laughing at Philip's comment.
It should be bad, yeah. I'm people. People say you shouldn't boo. I don't know how else you're meant to communicate that you're unhappy. Then,
yeah.
How else are you meant to tell these players, right? And these players are all multimillionaires, the majority of them, unless they're young kids with more money than most of us will ever see. They live in their own little bubble. Most of these live in their own little bubble, right? Yeah. Right. Almost a different planet. How else is Joe Blogs on the street like you and me meant to tell these players that their performance is not acceptable? How else are we meant to? How else are we meant to communicate that to these players?
And do you know what also? Yeah, sorry, Tequila. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut across your pod. No, go on. Finish off. Go on.
That's it, really. It's just like I don't know what else we're expected to do. Yeah, I understand backing the team. I get it. I get the idea behind it. But if all you're seeing is dross and you're just seeing more dross after more dross, if this performance was the exception to the rule, then by all means, we shouldn't probably be booing.
Yeah.
But this is the norm. And as Dermo just showed you on that form chart, this has become the norm over the last year.
It has.
Under two different managers. How else can we communicate to the players, to the manager, to the board? How else can we communicate to them this is not acceptable? How else do you want to do?
By booing and protesting.
Well, that's it.
By booing and protesting.
So that's why there's no choice. We have to. There's nothing
there
else
is no choice. And you know how long I've been saying, Tequila, I don't trust Enoch. And I think it was stupid to stop the protesting. I think it was stupid to let go of it. I understand. Give them time. It's not a new regime. It's the same old idiots in charge of the loony asylum. It's just what they've done is they've given a new lick of paint and it's under new management. But it's still the same company. It's like buying the chippers, right? You run an Italian restaurant, Tequila, right? And you're the manager. And you're not doing a very good job. So the company replaced me under a new management. And they said, right, we're going to revamp the Italian restaurant. We're going to give it a new lick of paint, a new name. But Tequila, you're still owning it. It's still your restaurant.
It's still the same. It's still the same badly cooked food. Yeah, I agree.
Philip says, let the air out of their tires. I mean,
I could make so many jokes, but I won't, even though it's gone
Yeah.
9. I
Do
won't.
you know what
I'll
makes
leave it
me
alone.
laugh? So Philip used to tell me, I love listening to Philip when he talks about back in the day because he tells some really cracking stories, right? Fans used to go with players to the games on the bus. Or
Can you imagine
meet
that,
them down
can you
the
imagine
pub.
that happening now, Dermo? There'd be
Oh,
security guards around the players. You never do that
yeah,
now.
there would be. Philip Brady, I'd distract the security guard in the players' car park and you can let the air out. I don't know what Mrs. Brady would say to that. Look, I understand what you're saying, Tequila, and I think you're right. Look, we all want Thomas Frank to do well. I don't want this. I don't want people tuning in thinking we're anti-Frank. We're not, are we? We're not. We just know how this is going to go, don't we? We just know how this sort of
We've all been here before with these
yeah.
quote unquote negative managers, and I don't think Frank's as negative as a Conte or a Mourinho.
No,
But let's
I
be
don't think
honest, he is on that scale area.
mm,
He's more, I think,
yeah.
more of a pragmatic, less pragmatic manager than others. So he is that, but we knew that going into it. I guess
Mm.
that's why some people didn't want him, because they knew that they weren't going to get the free throw and attacking football that maybe we want. I kind of knew that as well, but I think me and you, Dermo, at the start said, and this is where we've got to be careful, because we can't go back on that. We can't say that one and then when we get that, complain. We said we need a bit of dull.
Yeah, I know. And I think
short term, not
short
permanent.
term, not the doll we're getting. I didn't mean to take it to this.
Maybe you didn't mean it that way, that much, and I guess I didn't either. No, with an next year like that, no, you're right. I wasn't expecting it to be like that. There are levels, right? But we knew that we would not be playing I think a lot of us knew we wouldn't be playing fantastic football this year. I said to Dermo at the start of the season, I expect lots of draws, low scoring. It's ended up being that.
You lied.
I didn't lie, but I wasn't expecting 0.05, Dermo.
You did lie. This is fucking drosh. You did lie. You told me it would be. You said to me there'd be a lot of draws, Dermo, but it'd be okay.
It is okay, just not at home. It will be okay. I think it will be. I think at the end of the season, it will be okay. I think we'll still be about 8th, 9th, 10th. That is what I think.
Do you know what? I think it will even itself out, but will Frank be there to even itself?
Well, no, because he'll be boring so many people at home.
Yeah,
because we're going to pick up so few points at home that the fans won't stand for it for long. No.
Yeah, and that's the problem. We're such a fickle bunch. Philip saying Jimmy Greaves and Dave Mackay drank in the Bell and Hare after matches. There you go. So if you want to meet the Vicario and all that, we'll be down the Bell and Hare after the match tomorrow night.
Based on what Vicario said, I don't think Vicario wants to sit with the fans and have a chat.
No.
So.
Look, Ange Postecoglou became such a divisive figure in our fan base together, right? Even between you and me, even on people on this channel, he'd become very decisive, didn't he? To be fair, one thing you can't take away with him was, and I think you would agree with this as well, the rights or wrong with it, he stuck to his principles. He stuck to who he is. He stuck to his philosophy. Yes, he had to change it in Europe. Yes, we won a Europa League. Did that paper over the cracks? I think it did, to be fair. But you still can't take that away from him, Tequila. You can't. He won us that trophy, give us that beautiful night in Bilbao, a night we'll never forget. Thomas Frank's come in, and he did say in his press conference, I actually watched his first press conference again today, and it was all out, is to dare, is to do. I'm going to play the Tottenham way. We're going to attack. We're going to excite people. It's all about the motto. I'm very much about the motto, to dare is to do. All to dare is to dream. We're not seeing that. Now, somebody did say to me a little while ago, and I looked at them, I said, do you need to go to the local loony bin? Are you feeling okay? So he told me he was fine, but he was going back in the morning. So I said, fair enough, I'll take your comment then as it is. Somebody said we should have stuck with Ange. He said, we'd be losing games, but it'd be more exciting. I think Ange look, I know what your answer is going to be, Tequila, right? Please be sensible on this. But I keep going back to the game against Chelsea. Would you rather see a Tottenham side lose and give it their all, like we did on the ranch? And by the way, the fans applauded them players off that night, by the way. Applauded them off for the effort. And, and it was the night the quote came out, it's just who we are, mate. Come out. That was the game that quote came from. Or if you look at Thomas Frank, he's making us more stable at the back, which is brilliant. We're fifth in the league, but by Jesus, we come out of the game with an XG of 0.05. No shots on target in the second half. Only one shot on target in the first half, and no big chances created at all. Which game would you rather be at now, after what we saw Saturday?
Entertainment wise, and only entertainment wise, I think it's obvious that the Ange obviously created more chances both for and against us. It went both ways. So he created more chances, but we had generally more chances against us. On average, this is on average.
Yeah.
For that fixture you're talking about, that match was more exciting than the one we saw. If that's the answer, it was more exciting. I don't want either. Would be my answer.
No, that's what I'm looking for.
I don't want to see what we saw against Chelsea, but I also don't want the kamikaze stuff I saw under Ange. No. I don't know why we have to have one. I don't know why we can't have something in the middle. Yeah. I was hoping, and I still think that Frank can provide that, though I think he's always going to be a bit more on the defensive side, and that's why I think in the long term he's not the right man. That's not me saying I want him out, but I don't think he is the right man for Tottenham Hotspur. Whatever that means to people, right? Whatever that means, just like Jose, as much as I loved Jose, he wasn't the right man for Tottenham Hotspur. Conte, as much as Conte, if you would have given Conte the money, I firmly believe that he would have won us the league. Maybe not right away, but if you would have really given him the money, I think he would have, because he's proved he can do it. But he is not what you'd call a traditional Tottenham manager. And this is the thing, Dermo.
No, he's not.
You know what? I think Pochettino was the most Tottenham manager we have had that under our stewardship that I can remember is Harry Redknapp. In my personal opinion.
Yeah. I would probably
not my favorite. My favorite manager is Martin Jol, but I think Harry Redknapp played the most Tottenham way out of all our managers. Maybe only Pochettino comes close. That's just my opinion, of course.
I think in my lifetime it would be Keith Birkinshaw. I think.
Yeah, you're going back. Yeah.
So if we're going back, big up again for Jerome. Thank you so much, man. Tequila, go on. I'll let you take this because you're hosting tonight. I'm just your little co-host.
Jerome,
but thank you again, Jerome.
Are we really stable at the back, Dermo? If it was not for Vic being on point for Monaco, Bournemouth and Chelsea, then it would be embarrassing score. I think defense is still the best part of our team, Jerome. You're right. Vicario has saved our backsides in the last couple of games. And I think that is what is worrying, because the idea is meant to be is that defensively we're sound, but we can't score. And you're right. In the last couple of games, not only have we not been able to really score very well, I know we scored against Everton, but I mean in general, but also defensively, yes, we have been more suspect. That is concerning, because that's meant to be the best point of our team. Hopefully we can tighten that up, because I still don't think we're going to score many goals. We all better hope that there's some plan in place for January. I'm not convinced there is, but we better hope that there is to get us a striker, dude.
Yeah. Well, look, Vajovic is free for 20 million. Let's get him. But I want to ask Jerome a question as well on this, and you as well, Tequila. I agree with him when he says we're not really that stable. It's because we didn't have Romero there. I think when Romero's in the team, I think we're a lot more stable at the back. I think because we didn't have Romero in there, I think Danso, as good as a defender he is, was Romero type player.
Danso is not the Romero or Van de Ven level.
Yeah.
He's good, and he's good for a squad player, but I don't think we want him starting every week. Let's be honest.
No. And also, I think, look, if you look at Van de Ven, he looked a little bit lost without Romero, if I'm being honest. And I think that's where the little bit of not being stable at the back does come from. But what do we do? What can we do? It's a squad game, and these players are bought because they're bought to replace other players when they're injured. But I do agree with Jerome. If it wasn't for Vic, and Vic has saved us one or more 2 times. I've been very critical of Vicario this season, and I still will be critical of him because I think his distribution, the way that he sets himself up for some goals are not great. But you're looking at shot stopping, he's probably the best in the business. Was I proven right by not starting him against Newcastle? Hell yeah, I was proven right. And everyone told me I was wrong. Everyone said to me, you need to give Kingsley a go. Well, I'm sorry. You put Kingsley in a back four with Palunia and Danso, and you're asking for trouble. You put Vicario with Palunia and Danso. Vicario is going to save you more times out of 10 than he is going to let one in. But big up to Jerome. Thank you so much. Double super chat as well. You're very kind, bud. Anything you want to say to Jerome there to kill before we go on?
No, cheers, mate. You didn't have to do that twice. You were very generous doing it the first time, and you picked up a membership. So I'm taking it, Jerome, that you won on the horses or something tonight, mate. Bless you. So
thank you so much. Yeah, really appreciate it. Look, just go through a few people. Philip saying today is the dither. You're making Tequila laugh for these comments. I can hear him sniggering in the background. He's finding them funny. Nuno is winning games. Yeah.
Nuno's ended up proving a lot of people wrong. He has. I'm not saying that we'd want him back at Spurs because I know that it would end the same way, but he certainly has proven that he's far from a bad manager, is Nuno. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I agree with that. We are Spurs. That was one of that's one of Dago's favourite managers too, Martin Yole. Yeah, I love
Martin Yole. Yes, yeah. Me and Dago are quite aligned with our thoughts on the Spurs managers. Martin Yole was also mine. That's probably what you notice, that the ones who liked Martin Yole hate Levy the most, right? You see in the correlation there, huh? Yeah.
I think Pochettino. That's why he never came back, because Levy was here. I bet you. Do we want our Levy back? Hell no.
No.
I want to get rid of Enoch. Why would I want Levy back?
How can you? I don't think Spurs. I think he's kind of jesting. I don't think he actually wants him. No, because Levy's. Well, Levy's one of the big problems why we've got some of the dross that we've got. It was under his stewardship that we ended up buying the majority of these dross.
Yeah, it is. It is. And then Gerard said David Pleat sides play ball. They did. But it was only when he was there. Most of the time, he was broke down round street corners, waiting for the AA and RIC to come pick him up in a special place in Luton.
I do remember Pleaty, but he was a caretaker manager, wasn't he?
He was, but less we said about the RAC and the AA, the better. Look, yeah, these are our next 6 games. We've got Copenhagen tomorrow night. We've got Man United, then the international break, and then we've got Arsenal, PSG, Fulham, Newcastle. Right. Tequila, I want score prediction for all 6.
Okay, go for them one by one.
Okay, so I'm going to go with Copenhagen. I'm going to go for, look, this should be a winnable game, so I'm going for a 3-0 win tomorrow night.
I don't know where we're going to score 3 goals from. I think I'll go for a 1-0 win via set piece.
Okay. All conference set pieces, by the way.
Yeah.
All on goals as well. No, 3-0 for me. Man United, I never back my team to lose, Tequila. You know that. But I'm going for a draw here. I'm going for either a 0-0 draw.
Are we away to United?
No, we're at home to Man United. So I'm either going to go for a 0-0 draw or 1-0 defeat. And I don't like backing my team to lose. You know that as well as anyone. I never back Tottenham to lose.
I think it's going to be close. I don't think they're going to come and run roughshod on us. They have improved. Obviously, they've had a good month. But let's not forget, it was only football moves so fast. It was only a month ago when some of our mates are United fans. They still were all over Amarin. So this could be a momentary bit of good form they're on, right? I don't think they've just fixed it all, right? So I think that maybe they'll start to pull back a little bit. But that being said, I think they had a better window than us. I think they've got a better team than us. Not amazingly better, but a better. I'm going to go for a 1-1. I think that's going to be a draw.
Fair enough. Not El Sacchio then. Again.
No, although again, it's familiar, isn't it? This is all very familiar.
Can I just say, my member show is still live for some reason. It's showing me that it's still live.
Okay.
I don't think it is, but it's showing
it's like 6 hours there, mate.
We're getting good content out of it.
I hope people are enjoying whatever that show's showing.
I don't know if it's still live or not. I did change it going over.
I'll have a look after we finish. I'll see what's going on.
I do. Look, for me, Arsenal. Oh God, can I just be sensible or do I be delusional?
Just be yourself, mate, whatever that is.
Right, my earpiece is battery, like, so I'll go for delusion. I'm going for a 2-1 Tottenham win. I can hear the silence.
Normally, I think of Arsenal, I think, they're going to play us off the park, but that is not 2025 Arsenal. That's not this season's Arsenal. This season's Arsenal is a much more defensive unit. I think it will be a low-scoring game. I think Arsenal will win probably 1-2-0 max, maybe 1-0. I do think they'll win, no, Dermo. Unfortunately.
Right, why isn't that not worked?
I'm not sure he can hear me anymore.
I can hear you now.
You can?
Yeah, sorry. What did you go for?
I'll say 1-0 to Arsenal. It's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. They're very defensive-minded nowadays as well, so...
So, put your thoughts in the game score. So, I've gone for a win against Copenhagen, a draw or defeat against Man United, and a win against Arsenal. Tequila's gone for a win against Copenhagen, a draw against Man United, and a defeat against Arsenal. PSG away.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Can I get my calculator out for this one?
Unless Frank goes back to the 3-5-2 or the 5-3-2, however you want to look at it. The 5 at the back that we played against him in the friendly. Unless he decides to go back to that and has got some kind of a massive game plan. If he doesn't do that, then it's going to could be a cricket score, Dermo. It could be a cricket score. I'm just thinking of some of their forwards, like Desiree Doué, what his name is, just running it. I mean, I'm going to think it's going to be 4-0, and that's going to be a very upsetting game. That one, I think, for us.
I'm going for a draw.
Wow.
I told you
I hope you're right. I know I always want you to be right over me because I'm normally more on the other side. But
I want to say big up to Peter as well. Hi all, it's 8:39 and it's going to be a wet Melbourne day, Cup day. Big up to you, Peter. I hope you're doing well over there, down under. Fulham at home. I think we can get a win here, actually. I think we're going for a 2-0 win. 2-1 win against Fulham.
I'll go with a 1-0 win. But I could easily see that being like 1-0 or 0-0. Yeah. But I'll go for a very narrow win. 1-0.
And then Newcastle away.
Oh God, not again.
I hate Newcastle. I hate being like to them. I hope we don't come away with a hammering like we have done in the league the last couple of years. If we come away with a draw, I'll be happy. So I'll go for a point there. I'll go for a 1-1 or a 0-0 or a 1-1 draw.
We're a better team away, obviously.
Yeah.
So I actually think we've got more chance of beating them away than at home. How silly is that? But I think we do. I'm going to go for 2-1 Newcastle, but I do think it will be quite close. That one. That it could easily be a draw. I don't think we'll win, but it could easily be a draw. No. But I'll go 2-1.
But look, after all of this, Keelan, after an hour gone, I do think we're both on the same page that Thomas Frank is the right man for now. But it all depends on three things, doesn't it? Style of play, results, and plus who was he a Levy pick or was he a Lewis pick? When the third one we won't find out. will we? Till we know. But as I keep saying, what we were told today, that the dressing room is a little bit. The dressing room is not great at the moment. As I said, there's discontent within the changing room between himself, between the players and Frank, and between the players themselves. Where do you see this ending up? Or no, look, I don't want to have another manager sack. I still believe Thomas Frank is still the man to lead us to Spurs to glory. Tequila feels that as well. So where are you going at it now? If you were a betting man and you had a fiver, what you putting a fiver on?
I think Thomas Frank is sacked before the end of the season due to the home form and due to the style of play. I don't think he should be. I think we need to give him at least the season. But I think this is Nuno all over again, and I'm convinced of that now. I see too many parallels, and a lot of it isn't his fault, because just like Nuno has proved, I think Thomas Frank is a good manager. I just don't think he fits the Spurs and how we as a fan base, quote unquote, expect our team to play.
How many?
Expect?
Yeah, and here's a question: how many defensive managers last long at Tottenham?
None.
Not many.
No. And with all due respect to Frank, he's not Mourinho or Conte, and hasn't got that kind of CV. And they didn't last long. So
no, look, we both want Frank to do well. That you won't get that from me and Tequila. We're not Frank out yet, and no. I hope I'm speaking for you as well, Tequila. We rarely are on the Frank train. We think he can get there. Tequila's driving the Frank train apparently. Yeah, he's been driving.
I couldn't be bothered to pay for a ticket, so I just hijacked it, damn it.
Yeah. You didn't let Ange on. Why?
It's just who I am, mate. That's my answer.
No, but seriously, if you look at the manager we've had under Levy and Enid, right? Ange, all different philosophies, from Ange to Pochettino to Harry Redknapp to Martin Jol to Glenn Hoddle at the very start. Have we always been, and I think this is the question for you guys as well, have we always been chasing our identity? I think we're in another identity crisis at Tottenham. I think we're a bit bipolar. We don't know who we are. And I think it's get to a point now where Levy's gone. Enid think we dodged the bullet here. We've been given a bit more time. I don't think should be given time. I think I really don't know why change for Tottenham or somebody like that is not out there saying, right, things are not going well. Frank needs to be backed in the January. Let's get protesting now. Let's put them under pressure. And if they don't want to do it, I'm going to do it on here. I will keep saying it on here. Keep the pressure on Enid, because if you if you take your foot off that pedal and lay off that, they're going to think we're fine. We don't have to do much. We don't have to do anything. I'm sorry. It has to be the opposite. We've got to keep on them, keep at them, and keep pressuring them. And I understand we need to give them time. I already made the example earlier. It's like Tequila owning an Italian restaurant. I'm a bad cook. I'm a bad manager. He gets rid of me. They take it over, running it themselves, give it a lick of paint, just under new management, but it's still the same management. So please tell me what's changed. And then they're saying they're putting 100 million in Tequila. That 100 million came from the Champions League. So they really haven't put any money in.
The thing is also, it's like, I'm not being funny, and this is the sign of the times, guys. The 100 million.
What does it get you?
It doesn't get you much, does it? I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but in today's world, in today's football, if you think that 100 million is going to make the big difference between us doing what? Challenging for the league, then they've got a rude awakening if they think that's going to make a difference.
Do you agree with this from Gerard? I think it's true. I think it's spot on.
I made a little bit of a sarcastic comment, which, that's what I do, right? And I said I think Demo chatted. I said, is Ben Davies going to get him sacked too? Because that's what happened to Nuno. You know the story, Demo. Was it Davis, Kane, and was it Højbjerg? We're all part of this kind of players committee, and it was more or less And I think the rumor was that it was Ben Davis who ended up being the spokesperson, and he ended up saying, "Mr. Levy, can you get rid of this dude, please?"
Mm.
And Nuno's proved a lot of people wrong because obviously he does know what he's doing. But there we are. Is it going to be the same thing? I hope not, because I got nothing against Thomas Frank. He seems a nice enough chap, and I think he's proven at Brentford that he does know what he's doing. I don't think he's a Spurs manager, though. I can understand that. I don't think he is, but he's in the job, so I'm going to back him.
Yeah, he's honest with his press conferences too, isn't he? To be fair.
Yeah, I like him. I have no problem with him. I just think that it doesn't even matter what I think, really. You know the fan base, Dermo. You know that his style of play is what gets him fired. It's already, you can see it coming. I don't know when, but
I don't know. I do you know what? I hope not, but you can feel it, can't you? You can feel there's something in the air.
Yeah,
changes in the air.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it feels like it's not a matter of if, it's when.
Yeah.
And once you get to that point, Dermo, you might as well just fire him now. I don't want him. I don't want that, but you might as well, because if you've already if the fan base has already mostly decided that, yeah, we don't really want you, mate, which is what it feels like to me, Dermo. Not everyone, but it's a lot.
Do you think Do you think summer Saturday was a bit of overreaction, or do you think fans are now saying, right, we've had enough? Or was it a mixture?
I think it's a combination, and a lot of it isn't Frank's fault, because it's the hangover from the Ange stuff. Because you showed us all those results, right? And our home form is relegation. Yeah. But of course, half of that is on the other manager, not on Frank.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's carried that across, which sucks for him.
So, how many home games has Thomas Frank had?
He's had like 6, hasn't he? 5 or 6.
Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's won against Burnley.
Yes.
Who else? Then we drew again. Then we lost to Bournemouth.
We beat Villarreal, but if you mean just the Premier League, then
just the Premier League. These are just Premier League games only.
We lost against Villa.
Right now, let me get okay, so let me go back now. Right, so in the league, right, so we beat Burnley at home. We lost to Bournemouth.
Yep.
I'm trying to work out how many home games he's had. 1, 2.
I think he's had 5. We drew against Wolves, so we lost to Villa. We drew against Wolves.
4, 5. Yeah, 5, 6. So go back 6. So where are we? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So we've only had one win. So that works out right. So we beat Burnley 3-0 at the beginning of the season. We lost to Bournemouth. We drew against Wolves. We lost against Aston Villa, and we lost against Chelsea. So if you look at their first, so that's his segment of where we are at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
So that's the win ratio.
All this is Ange. All the rest of this is Ange Postecoglou.
So listen to this stat then, lads. That gives Thomas Frank about a 15% win ratio at home. Not many managers are going to survive long with that ratio, I can tell you.
Well, you look at our away form. Our away form we're top of the league, I think, in away forms in the Premier League title. Just in Premier League games, we're at top of that league. I think we're bottom or near enough 18th in the home form league on the Premier League form table. If you're looking at just home form and away form. Thank God for our away form, Tequila. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and if that does continue throughout the season, that could perhaps keep Frank in the job. But I still think, even that, you know what? No. That won't save him. Dermo, it won't. If we have the best away form in the league and we end up finishing, I don't know, mid-table, 8th, something like that, right? He's gone, because you cannot have that home form the whole season. The fans won't accept it. He'll be done. 100%.
And then we're back to. We go through more managers than anything. And then we've got Gerard saying, do you think Frank is George Graham style? Do you think Frank is a George Graham? Oh God, George Graham.
George, there you go, Dermot. George Graham won us a cup, Colin Cup. There you go.
Did win the Scarlet Cup.
Um,
Even that final was boring. We only won that night in injury time.
Yeah, that wasn't a very good match. Is he? I can see some similarities.
I can see similarities. Yeah.
To be honest, though, George Graham, we don't like to admit it because, of course, he managed Arsenal to the title, but I think he was a lot more successful than Thomas Frank, probably, with all due respect. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we don't like to think about it because it's Arsenal, but I mean, he did win them the league, so his methods worked. Let's put it that way. So.
Well, look, we're going to end it there, guys. I wasn't really. The North London podcast due to be tonight. I felt tired. I wasn't going to do a stream. Tequila said, "Come on, let's do one for half an hour, Dermot. We need to talk about Thomas Frank." I went, "Okay, we'll do one." An hour and nearly 20 minutes. An hour and 15 minutes later, Tequila, we're still on.
Yeah, we had a feeling
I think
we might go longer than we thought we would.
I think you've been proven right in all that. Tequila, look, where can people find you?
Obviously on here, talking to you great people, and on the Play Pouch, which is a little gaming channel from me and my idiot friends. Yes, I called them idiots, 40-year-old nerds. That's what we are. And we've got some games coming up. Ancom, who's not 40 yet, he is a nerd though. He will be soon. And we've got Metal Gear Solid. There'll be that being played. Red Dead Redemption 2, I've mentioned, and South Park, which will be in the next couple of weeks. The South Park game, which is going to be a laugh because it's like watching an episode of South Park. So I'm not sure what to do about it, Dermo. We might have to there's going to be a lot of swearing and stuff in that stream just from the game. So I don't know what to do about that.
You're going to have to put a parent's guide up. This you need to put up a little video before this stream has language that younger viewers may find offensive. You enter at your own risk.
It's like watching the show, so it's going to have the swearing, but it's also going to have adult humor, I suppose. So you're going to have to be careful.
So don't make it for kids.
Yes.
Yeah. You can find me on here, actually. Of course, me, James, and Tequila. But you can also find me and James on Double Dumb Gaming. We've got our first podcast stream tomorrow at midday on the release.
What are you discussing on that? Football Manager?
We're discussing what we're going to do with the channel. The channel has getting a bit of a revamp. Nobody's done anything on the channel for about a year and a bit. So we're going to do a bit of a revamp. We're going to talk about what we're going to do on the channel, what games we're going to do. There's going to be a lot of Football Manager 26 because that's out tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of Formula 125 FC 26 as well. Join me as I take on. I like FC 26 with the little challenges. So I'm going to work up which challenge I'm going to do. James is going to do a lot of stuff as well. We've also got a Twitch channel, which we over there, Double Dumb Gaming on Twitch. So do follow us over there as well. But yeah, looking forward to that tomorrow. And FC 26 is out tomorrow. So let's all guide Tottenham to glory. Let's all become inner Thomas Franks, if we can. But Tequila, thank you so much for watching. We are back tomorrow, guys. Join me away at Top TV at 6:30. I'm on there tomorrow night. Join me also at 8:15 here for the watch along, Tottenham versus Copenhagen. And then at 10:15, join me for the match reaction and then final score on Wednesday. Thursday, we're looking to do a podcast with the Manchester United agenda. I don't know if I'm on here or I'm on there, but we will find out. Friday, you got all your pre-game stuff as well. Apologies for no predicted lineup. I did do it for members earlier. Members got an early look earlier on. I do apologize for non-members not getting one, but there will be one back for the Manchester United game on Friday as normal. So I do apologize about that. I've had a bit of tech issues. I had to take down the stream for tomorrow. So I do apologize. But guys, that is it. But we're still...
Bless you.
Excuse me. We're still in Frank We Trust to lead us to glory. Tequila, thank you so much for coming on.
No worries, bud.
Always enjoy your company, bud. And I hope you've enjoyed it too. Please like, please subscribe, and please also hit that notification bell. Tequila, you always take us out. So take us out, bud.
Dermo, don't you be blaming me for that home form, mate. It's not Thomas Frank, mate. It's not me. Bring me back, mate. I'm free. 10K an hour, mate. Just who you are, mate. Spursy, mate. See ya.
Oh dear. Could I take and stress again? I don't think so.
Just so you are.
Just who you are. Good night.
Eyes on the